Libra, welcome to your 5-card movie star spread. As per usual, you can click right on that description box below and it will talk about the significance of the spread as well as the placement of each card. So here we are. So Libra, you recognize that there's a lot of choices that need to be made. But there's a fear of rejection that happens with them. So it's almost like you have a fear of the unknown. So I'm going to start here with the very first card. This is the Three of Cups. Now, a lot of people give this card a bad name. They're like, ooh, third party energy, dot, 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 dot. Well, in the upright, this can mean help and celebration from friends, like people coming together to make something happen. Okay? So you are trying to come together with someone or a group to make something happen. But you're having a hard time with it because you go back and forth in your mind. There is a fear of rejection here. You're like, oh, how are these people going to perceive me? Should I really do this? You know, there's like I said, as simple as like you're overthinking it in your head because you're afraid of this possible outcome. But be careful because sometimes when you focus on a possible outcome, you can self-sabotage. It's almost like a self-serving bias. A lot of us do that. All right. And when I say a lot of us, it's because I'm speaking out of experience, not out of judgment. I've been there. So the truth of the matter is the steering wheel is in your hands. So the Wheel of Fortune isn't about just randomly being lucky with something. The Wheel of Fortune means you have to take an action. You have to steer the ship in the direction that you want it to go. So again, I'm going to warn you, if you steer it to these negative thoughts, you might get a negative outcome. But if you really focus on the people who are there to help you, or the people that you really want to connect with, you might get that positive outcome. So Libra, as usual, you're just going back and forth in your head between the Three of Cups and the Four of Cups in the inverse, the Three of Cups and the Four of Cups in the inverse. You know? So what you project, you might get. And that's the purpose of the Wheel of Fortune being here for your overall theme. Now, your possible journey is a emotional one. And here you are all up in your head and you prefer to stay in your head. What Libras tend to prefer to stay in their head because Libras do want everything to be fair and balanced. But sometimes when they overthink, they forget to add in everybody else's perspective. So what they do is they retreat to a fantasy world of what their idea of perfection would be. And then they linger in that fantasy world too long and sometimes forget to take action and don't get the outcome that they want. Okay? You have to get a little bit out of your head and allow your emotions in. And that is what's scaring you. That's the direction you don't want to take this in. So what this tells me is you're overthinking the situation, even though your intuition is telling you something different. And this rejection card here might be fear of outcome, fear of rejection, or it might be you fearing letting your emotions take over for a minute or being too emotional about something. So when it comes to your journey card here, it's almost like you're trying to shut off your emotions, but you can't. However, if you take the time to get a little bit of balance and stop overthinking, you take the time to settle your emotions, give it a little bit of time without overthinking it, and see when your head and your heart agree. Because ultimately, for your outcome here, your possible outcome, you have the Magician card. What that tells me is that you have a very passionate idea, and you have all the tools at your disposal to get done what you need to get done. So if you connect with the people you want to connect with, and you have that positive outlook, you might just be able to turn this wheel in the direction that you want it to go. See, the truth of the matter is, and this is a very difficult truth to hear. Whenever I see the Ace of Swords in the inverse, I just imagine it stabbing me directly in the heart. The cold, hard truth of the matter, okay, is that this outcome is all up to you, and you can't blame any other person for it. You're in control of what's happening. You have to make decisions and choices. And the fact that you're overthinking things is stopping you from making the decisions and choices that would let you potentially leverage the resources you have. When I see the aces in the upright, any ace, this happens to be the Ace of Pentacles, all aces are a very high potential for that particular energy, but a very low resolution. This is the beginning stage. You need to process this ace, this energy, through some sort of framework in order to make it malleable. Okay? So, what the Ace of Pentacles is all about, it's about health, it's about wealth, it's about how you manage your time and how you leverage your network. Anything that is malleable in the 3D world that you can call a resource. So you have the potential, the highest potential, to rework your resources in order to get done what you need to get done. But you actually have to make decisions, take actions, face the cold hard truth, and balance out your head and your heart. Because right now, your head is keeping you in a little bit of a fantasy land. And the fantasy for you right now is more comfortable than the reality of having to make something happen. It's almost like the picture that you painted in your head is way prettier than any outcome you could possibly imagine in the real world. So you're just looking at this picture in your head and you're not going to do anything to bring it into fruition. Action needs to be taken, Libra. I hope you found a message that serves your highest good, and I'll see you next week.